with FundaAI, it's an AI school to build young Africans between the ages of 12 to 18 into globally competitive software engineers. The goal is to build engineers, not just engineers, but amazing engineers, basically, who can communicate really well, who take initiative, and I guess who have an actual love for their jobs, if that makes sense. So the approach is twofold. There's a virtual campus and a virtual apprenticeship. The virtual campus is a laptop with an LLM model running locally. It's a small model. Obviously, there's limitations around how big the model can be, but we're seeing models getting better and better at that small scale. So eventually there'll be a decent model that's running locally, I believe. But in the interim, it's like there's that local model, but we're syncing with a larger like open source model whenever they interact to make it seem like it's an offline experience, basically. So the
Okay.
laptop has it's running on Linux. The rationale is like simple. It's like twofold again. The parents I spoke to cared a lot about their kids not accessing inappropriate sites. Linux allows for that greater like control.
Yeah,
But beyond that, I
obviously.
think it's a good way to just like learn about the terminal. It's a good way to build that engineering mindset for kids in general. So
Hmm.
there's that. There's an app store that I built just to distribute the AI tutors. And then there's AI tutors that like just desktop apps to help them learn like how to think like an engineer essentially. But as you can imagine, even for adults, self-learning is not an easy thing. It requires a lot of self-discipline. Now, with kids, they're going to just play games all day, realistically. So
Yeah.
I call it reinforced self-learning. The second part, like this is the open source part that we're talking about right now, the virtual apprenticeship. So the idea here is to find other engineers who care about building like tools to help kids learn how to think like engineers.
Hmm.
We're having this discussion right now, discuss this, we have this discussion basically. And you might have an idea of what tool you think would help build a skill you have found valuable in your career in the way you think. So you have that idea. We formulate that idea, we scope it out. As we're scoping it out, I'm going to help build that idea to make sure it goes quicker. But to make sure that build actually works, like async, I have to break that down into tickets. Now, some of those tickets will be small tasks like create a button, style a button. So those tasks are given to the kids to work on. So they get to work on actual like code. The assumption is that like when you get them building their own AI tools that they actually use themselves, the virtual campus becomes like something more fun for them to actually engage with because they're actually doing stuff they can see themselves. So the ones who care about engineering will be like it's going to reinforce that that learning cycle. So when they push code, we send them reviews. The reviews can be like text, it can be video, whatever you think makes more sense. Those reviews are then sent to the mentor who uses that to explain like things to kids in a way that makes sense to them, if that makes sense. So that's the long and short of how the model works. Do you have any questions so far before I like go further?
No, not at all, not at all. I think I'm kind of getting it. So is this all based on what their experience is as the student, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
So it's not so like this isn't yet this is just the model. Okay. Yeah.
so there's an MVP that's already been like that I launched like about maybe 12 weeks ago, give or take. So I
Okay.
sent I just built this whole MVP out. Sent the laptop to like a 12-year-old nephew wants to be a software engineer. He's very self-driven. So it was a good test, basically,
Yeah.
pilot. And the last 10 weeks I've been mentoring him like to understand how do I explain things to a 12-year-old? Because it's a different mindset, right? How do you break
Yeah.
things down that are complex to 12-year-old? And how do you gauge actual interest? So through that learning, I kind of put an understanding that like led to me pivoting towards this particular model. I think it makes more sense to keep that
Hmm.
engagement flowing, basically. It's the same with the
Okay.
laptop. So I've already built a few AI tutors. I have one for exam prep. It's just like taking in like 2,000 past exam papers, shooting out questions for different subjects, and when they answer the question, it just marks them and gives them feedback on like things to improve. There's a
Okay.
project builder one that I built recently. So that one's more of
Hmm.
I want them to build the intuition of building projects guided by AI. So,
Yeah.
this vibe coding concept, it's a good thing, but a bad thing at the same time. Because
Yeah.
if you learn
Yeah.
how to code by vibe coding, you are over relying on AI to overcomplicate things for you. But what I'm doing is that I'm generating projects and generating tickets. And for each ticket, there's prompts. The prompts, they don't give the kids the full code. It gives them like a sample of the code that they need to complete the task and some questions to help them think and finish it them up themselves,
Okay.
essentially. That's the idea behind it. Obviously, it's MVP, so things are not going to be working as perfectly as you want them
Yeah.
to, but it's like that's the idea. So yeah, that's I've spoken to a few other engineers. I think the list I have is other ideas that have been thrown around here and there. But
Mhm.
I know that you might not have an idea right now at this moment, but I would like to start the conversation and just like see if you have any like potential AI tool that you want to build, and then start scoping that out and building it out. But keen to hear your thoughts though.
Yeah, I mean, I probably still have to have a look or just be guided a bit further. I'm just curious is like obviously with vibe coding is it's like it can show like a lot of magic in the beginning. So I'm just like, how do these kids actually understand what they're coding? Like, is this just like an introduction, or you know what I mean?
So
Because like there's like it like I mean I've even done it in, like where I type in cursor like this thing and it's like makes like this crazy feature, but I don't even understand what's going on there, you know?
yeah.
So it's like so yeah, like how do you deal with that? It's
So that's
just
one, it's just one AI tutor. That's specific AI tutor. Like the idea that I had is that like you just generate like prompts for them to pass into Cursor. But the prompts are not just generating code because it's a specific task, a very small task. The prompts are
okay.
designed to generate some code, but generate some questions and generate some context of like, okay, this task, what is the importance of this task in the bigger scheme of what we're actually building? And explain that as you would to like a 12-year-old, like in a very simple way. So it's a multi-pronged prompt, if that makes sense. They copy and paste that to Cursor
Okay.
and then like get some output.
Okay. Okay. So is Cursor actually coding for them, or is Cursor giving them like a set of instructions and being like this could work type of thing? You know?
It's really that's some of the prompt engineering thing. At this point, it's like with the prompts that I have that are being generated, it generates some code, it generates some
Hmm.
questions, and then some context.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
idea. But of
Okay.
course, like
Yeah.
with prompts, it's not deterministic. You never know. Like at some point, it's
Yeah.
not deterministic. Basically, that's the issue with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 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 I get that. That's what I'm, yeah, like because yeah, you have to really understand context, otherwise it's going to send you down like a completely different path.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, okay, it's all good. Um, yeah. What was your idea with what feature do you need help with?
Um. Honestly, it's just like outsourcing this like the whole idea of building AI tools because I have my own ideas of what things to build. So, for example, someone mentioned an AI tutor that like explains the interplay between the hardware and software, something along those lines, like using flashcards. That seems
Hmm.
fascinating to me. That makes a lot of sense. I think that'd be a good starting point. There's someone who mentioned like something in the career guidance space, but like career guidance within like that software engineering or software engineering adjacent careers. So
Hmm.
seeing their interests, seeing what they're good in, and then like directing them towards the career that makes sense for them, and then painting out the things they need to learn to get to that particular path. I think that's fascinating. That wouldn't be the first thing I'd build, but that's fascinating. So I have like I can
Yeah,
share like a document with a few ideas people have like thrown around, just to give you like more context if you need that.
yeah. I think there's this thing called roadmaps SH or something.
So
Let
what's
me just
that?
check. Roadmaps SH. It's like this website and it shows you like quite a good
Roadmap SSH.
pathway. Let me see if I can. Let me just try and find it. Something like that. Yeah. Roadmap SH.
Ah, I
Let me
see
see
it.
if
I
I can
see it.
send it.
I see
Yeah,
it.
and then you can choose a path there. I think that's a pretty good. And they have like all the sort of information like baked in already. So maybe you can flesh out a feature for each of these because I was thinking DevOps would be quite a cool one.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
because
This
DevOps, I think that teaches a lot, it will teach people a lot about like how like your local machine is not what you expect to run in production, type of thing. So that
yeah,
was kind of
yeah.
my idea.
And to be fair, I feel like doing DevOps tasks has made me a better backend engineer in many ways. It's like it's just good
Yeah,
context, I feel.
Yeah.
So so I'm just fascinated about this site, honestly. This
Yeah.
roadmap.sh, this is pretty cool. Thanks for this. I'm gonna bookmark this. But what I'll do is like I'm gonna send a follow-up email to you. I'll send you like some ideas people have thrown around like AI tutors, just to give you more
Yeah.
context. I've created a Discord channel just to have other open source engineers so we can just discuss things there in the open. And then we can take things
Okay.
from there and then just like see how things go. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay.
All right. All right. I'm gonna leave
Sounds
you
good.
to enjoy your night then. I'm gonna hop
Yeah.
back to work.
All right. Okay.
All
All
right.
good, man.
Cool. Cheers.
All
Enjoy
right.
your
Bye.
day. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.